Hello, hola. So today I am very excited. Today I am starting back at school, university again. So it's been a decade since I dropped out of that because I got married and had to move to Vancouver. So then I took another program, but then I got pregnant and so I had to drop out because I had a baby. So the kids are at grandma's house. They're having a blast with their cousins who are also being babysat right now. And I am on my way to school. I did enjoy university, and it was always sad that I didn't finish my program or any program because I was like, oh, what if my partner dies? Then how do I support the kids? Because then I'll just get a low-paying job. I always wanted to go back to school. I was going to go back when our youngest was in elementary school during the day, and then I'd go to school and then be back in time for them getting off. But things are a little bit earlier than planned, but it's good. Welcome to Edmonton in the winter time. It is dreary some days. Most of the time though, it's sunny. But yeah, this is what you have to look forward to if you come to Edmonton. It is flat and freezing cold and kind of dirty and gross in the winter and spring. So come in the summer and fall. So I'm at the U of A, just picking up my stuff, getting ready for classes to start next week. That is why it is empty right now. I never get to see it this empty. Okay, first up, I gotta get my ID. And then I'm gonna get my textbooks and such. So cold today. That's a new building. Well, they don't believe I'm me. It has been a decade since I went to school here. So all my information is under my maiden name, Laycock. So I came here to get my ID card today. I get my textbooks, but I have to go back home and get my birth certificate or my marriage certificate because I have to prove that I am Reyna now. Reyna, sorry. Which should I keep the last name? Because in Canada, heavy door, you can keep the last name after you get divorced. So people that don't have kids, they of course switch back to their normal name usually. But people that do have kids, they will often keep the name if they lived it for a while. So I have been Reyna for the last decade. And the three people I love most in the world, my kids, they all have the last name Reyna. And they're little kids. And so for registering and signing things up, it just causes confusion if I have a different last name. So I'm going to keep it because he may not have treated me like a queen, but I got the last name of one. And this little trip to school was going to be about what it's like starting at school after a decade, but what it's really turning into is what last names are like in Canada. Because I'm running into some issues. So in Canada, you have usually just your dad's last name, one single last name. So mine was Laycock, which I'll get into later. Then when you get married, generally you just take your husband's last name, which is generally just one last name. But if you do happen to take both parents' last names, which is rare, but it happens, they are hyphenated. There's a little dash between, and they're kept together, so it's as if it's one word, but it's two last names together. But we do the reverse order. So whereas you guys do like Reyna Vasquez, we would do Vasquez Reyna. When I got married, I took on the last name Reyna Vasquez, which would make me a sister in Latin America. Oh, but I guess either way, oh. But Reyna Vasquez was really causing problems because here people aren't used to double last names. We were trying to fill out paperwork for the kids. They kept filing things under Vasquez and spelling Vasquez wrong, so we'd have to go in and fix things. So if you do immigrate to the States or Canada or an English-speaking country, many other countries probably too, but I don't know about those. They will not be used to double last names unless there is some with hyphenated names, but it's not very common. So when you come, people will think that your first last name, like for Reyna Vasquez, they're going to think Reyna is a middle name and Vasquez is the last name. So just a heads up, when you fill out forms, make sure that they have both your last names listed as actually your last names. And is there parts in Latin America that don't do a double last name? I don't know about all the countries, but it seems pretty common. So in Canada, you can drop the first part of a two-part last name because we usually have the mom's first, then the dad's. So the dad's would be last. But you have to do a legal name change to drop the second last name. So we were Reyna Vasquez. We did a legal name change to drop the Vasquez part. Well, Saul did it, and then because I was married to him, I automatically could just use the new, just Reyna. And so all my IDs and everything right now, except for my Costco card, apparently, is all in Reyna. So one thing you should know about the name Laycock is that it doesn't sound the greatest. So lay means like lay down, and then cock means rooster. But it's very commonly used as a term meaning this. So Laycock, not the greatest last name. I went from that last name to Reyna, being a queen. I am going to keep the last name Reyna. So, which like why when you can't even pronounce it properly with like Reyna. I'm glad I drove today instead of taking the bus because this 1 hour back and forth would have taken like 2 hours. So I have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Luckily I drove. So guess what? Out of the 5 people I've talked to that work here, all 5 of them thought I was faculty, that I worked here. Nope, student. I'm filming so much of this while driving because I feel so awkward filming myself talking while walking around in public. I'm trying to get over that awkwardness of like, hi, I'm just gonna record myself.